Hello, everybody. This is PJ Roche. This is Triple M, Music, Money, and Management. And today I have with me Gucci P. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Of course. I was really happy when you responded to my message because I see you have done some pretty significant things.
Definitely, man. I definitely try to connect with, people like myself, young people like myself, trying to just, make things happen.
I appreciate that. So, first thing, Tycoon Management. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Tycoon Management, we're a full house entertainment company. We have 4 compartments: artist management and development, media. So that's as far as doing interviews with local and big celebrities, as well as content creation, like long-term, short-term photo shoots and videos, as well as events. So that ranges from like concerts, pop-ups, meet and greets, panel events, etc.
Okay, and you're also a marketing rep at Sony Music, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into that position?
Yeah, so basically, what I do is I assist Sony Music and all their labels from Sony, from Columbia, RCA, Epic, so on and so forth, and we basically help come up with ideas to market the artist music to like the college market. So I'm the rep for the whole city of Baltimore, where my school is located. So my duty is primarily my school, leading up to my entire city. So how I got the position was I had a friend who became a Universal rep. And because all the 3 top main distributors have it, so Warner, Universal, and Sony, all 3 have these type of positions.
Yeah.
So she became a Universal rep, and I was like, whoa, how'd she get that? But they're very exclusive, so most of the situations is like 1 or 2 reps per area. So she was the rep for Universal, marketing a little bit more beyond. So she just told me about Sony. Then I applied like that night, you know what I'm saying? And then, it was like a few interviews. And here we are today.
Uh-huh. And what skills do you have that helped you get that position? What did you learn when you went to school?
I would say, what would you say?
What did you learn when you went to school for music business?
Well, I'm going to school currently for strategic communications. Surprisingly, I actually didn't go into school with that major either. I went in as a service supply chain management because I was pretty convinced out of high school by different programs and things like that. That's what I was looking to do. But then I realized I was better in marketing, managing, coming up with creative ideas of communicating things, which kind of fell more within the umbrella of strategic communications, which is my current major now.
Uh-huh. Was there anything in college that you learned for that kind of related to what you do now?
Some of the stuff, I'm saying, like, it talks about, like, public relations primarily. So, like, part of what we do is public relations. So, how to communicate with people, different meanings of how people think about people, even within a conversation that you may not really think about. Maintaining relationships, things along those natures. But for the most part, most of the things, like, I've kind of experienced prior to, like, learning some of the stuff that I was learning, if that makes sense, the experience.
Yeah. What percent of working in the positions you have, or in the music industry in general, do you think is communication skills as opposed to technical things that only apply to the music industry? Because to me it seems like it's like almost 90% making connections and having friends in the right places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what it is for the entertainment industry in general. It's kind of about who you know and who knows you. Anything else above that, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it can't really defeat who you know and who knows you. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can know. So it's like, for example, if both of us are like Twitter savvy, and then I know somebody at Twitter, and then you're just Twitter savvy, I would easily get that position because I know somebody at Twitter, or know somebody that knows somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just because we have that it's just like artists. There's a lot of talented artists in the area, but it's more of like who knows them and who they know. On the behind the scenes scale of it, to get them in the correct places for them to blow.
Yeah, I can definitely see that you leverage connections well. You have good connections, because I found another interview with you. You've worked with Gunna, Young Thug, Key Glock, Moneybagg Yo. I mean, those are big names. Can you give us some tips as to how to work with people like that?
I didn't have like too much, direct partnership, but it was more of like I used to do events like at nightlife. So basically, like those are artists that we used to like and book and bring out and promote the event, sell tickets, things along those natures. I used to do a lot of type of events at Bliss DC with them. one of the like hottest nightclubs, 18 and up clubs in DC.
Uh-huh.
You know, so as far as tips, I would say like be open to a lot of things, because I feel like the reason why Tycoon is so like versatile, for what I mean when I say that is like, all right, you can probably think of like the best rising label, but then what differentiates us is that we don't just do the label department. We have the media, we have the events, we have the whole shenanigan, like, you know, and one package for you. So that's kind of what makes Tycoon different. So with that being said, like, entertainment is very big. You know, like when people hear entertainment, they just think of the music industry, but there's also like the media side of it. There's also the sports side of it. There's also the film side of it. You know, entertainment is pretty vast. So it's like, if you're in the room, speak to everybody in the room. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you may just, you know, come in contact with them. And if you also find somebody, like, even if you're not doing business with them, just still keep in contact. Check up on them here and there. You know, engage with their social media so that you're on their radars. So, like, when you hit them up for any favor, it won't be like, who is this guy? You know, you already done made yourself familiar.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Definitely took that.
And then Quaudio. Can you tell me about that?
Okay, one more time?
Quaudio.
Oh yeah. Quaudio basically, as far as them, we basically help them, like, so Quaudio is basically like a Spotify or Apple Music or whatever streaming service you can think of, comprising of college students.
Okay.
So, like, it's literally, like, all college students across the country, all the music in one hub where you can, like, connect, you know, make music with another artist. You know, it's just a nice hub for college artists and creatives. So, we just basically, you know, help them achieve those such goals, being that we're primarily affiliated in the college scene, to just make those connects happen.
Yeah. So, as you move forward in the music industry, it seems like you have a lot of options, especially with Tycoon being so broad and all-encompassing. What do you plan to do?
What was the beginning part of that question?
What are your future plans? I mean, would you prefer to be a marketing rep for Sony for the rest of your life, or would you really like to only focus on Tycoon?
I mean, to be honest, like, what I want to do, and a lot of people may say this is crazy, but, like, you know, I just want to just stay Tycoon CEO. If anything, like, if I was to have any, like, side job or any of that, like, I'll probably, like, work at a label on the highest, like, position I can, because I don't feel like I would need any type of, like, entry-level position, being that I'm already working with Sony right now while I'm in college. So I kind of just look forward to, like, expanding Tycoon. Like, you know, I mentioned sports and film. We want to get into those two departments of entertainment. We don't just want to stay in the music and media side of it. We want to tap into sports management, as well as, like, filmmaking and promotion and things along those natures. Just like South by Southwest, that's a very good whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Like, correlation and idea.
Uh-huh. And so, I mean, are you planning to just break into sports and the other entertainment industries just because you want to get into them? Or do you think that there is a link that between the music industry and all those other industries that you can use, especially between music and sports?
For sure. So, like, with that being said, like, we don't only want to just hop into, like, the sports management. And to answer your question, like, yes, we do want to, like, we actually have, like, we actually have, like, whatchamacallit? Like, we have interest in working in the sports field. I actually used to play football while I was in high school, and I have two brothers. We all play football, so it's like I have some experience on the field and in the sports game, being an athlete, and then, you know, with technology and social media, and media in general, just evolving. Like, you know, there are different ways we can help artists without me just help athletes. I meant to say, without actually being on the field. So, like, you know, helping them lock in partnerships and you know, sponsor deals with other companies through the connects that we may have through the music side of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very broad. Everything goes hand in hand. And even think about, like, what Jay-Z is doing with his abilities with the Super Bowl, having his artist music played there, hopefully getting his artists performing at the Super Bowl, through Rock Nation, which is the music side of it. So things along those lines. Also, probably, like, I'll probably, like, start a football team soon, like a Tycoon, like, athletic side of it. If anything, a gym. We really just want to, like, tie everything around. So, like, once we start creating relationships with, you know, sports companies and things like that, these are the easiest ways that we have of, you know, connecting our artists to shows and, like, commercial opportunities that these sports scenes have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is just a business, to be honest. Like, as long as you, like, understand the business of entertainment, everything just intertwines. So it's like even to the film side of it, like if we get into films, we can get our artists and even myself and other influencers that we're working with into the acting scene, monetizing those opportunities, and which lead to other acting opportunities, and we can just get the bag all around entertainment atmosphere.
Your end goal for Tycoon is really everything entertainment. No boundaries.
Yep.
All right.
That's correct.
You're going to college right now, as you said. And you're with Quadio and Sony Music and Tycoon. How do you balance your time? Because that's actually something I've been confused about personally. I see a lot of people who say they work at 5 different companies, especially in the music industry. How do you balance that?
I would just say, like, to be honest, personally, and then somebody asked me this the other day, like, I personally just use, like, alarms. So, like, if I know I hate the sound of alarms, to be honest with you, so I don't want it ringing in my ear. So, like, I would literally, like, set an alarm for every single thing. So, like, if my teachers post updates about this every 10 o'clock, like, I will set an alarm for every 10 o'clock these days, like, yell at me, if I have to do a Tycoon thing, or sometimes with Tycoon, or actually what I do sometimes, like, every day, I know some people normally have, like, a whiteboard or whatever, but every day on my phone, being on my phone a lot, I would, like, go to my notes and, like, type in, like, a to-do list for tomorrow or a to-do list for the day, and then just, go by that checklist, and then, or you can get apps like To-Do or Reminder where you can just, like, remind me to do this at this time, and I'll just create, like, a list of things I have to do, whether it's for that day or the next day, and just, like, go by that list, so that way, you're making sure you're knocking everything out with full conscience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it ever get stressful? Because I know people that work in the music industry, usually they love it because they love music, but when you have so many things to do, it can still get stressful, can't it?
Stressful. Like, I would say, like, I don't know, like, stressful. Me personally, I always try to keep a positive mindset about a lot of things. Like, I would say stressful when certain things don't go as planned, but the reason why I don't consider all those things stress, because I don't let it get to me. I'm more of like, all right, boom, if this don't work, then I'm going to just try this way. Then I'm going to just try this way. Then I'm going to try this way. And one of those ways eventually play out to work, because, I don't believe in giving up to the point to where it becomes stress. Now, the only stressful part may be school of it being, because I'm only there. I personally don't want to be in school. I'm just doing this so my mom can be happy, and I'm more of like school for the network aspect of it, like making sure like everybody in school is going to know about Tycoon, being that I'm on my campus with them, you feel me? But with that being said, like when it comes to the actual academic side of it, it sometimes it becomes stressful, but at the same time, like if you just map everything out and make sure, what I normally do is like, all right, school stuff has to be done first before I do anything, because at the end of the day, that's why you're there. It's not like I'm paying for school, you know what I mean? So, like, whatever I got to do to get that out the way to the best as I can do, I do that. Then I start listening out to Tycoon things, because then I can take my time, or if I want to hurry it up, either way, it's still going to be there, because I'm controlling that time, So, I normally try to balance everything out to where I don't stress out too much, you know what I'm saying? Like, this past semester, I actually got my first 4.0 for real. In school, you know what I mean? So it's doable, It's very doable.
Uh-huh. Would you recommend school for someone that doesn't have to do it? For someone that has complete freedom and they're, say, 20 years old, they want to get into the music industry, would you recommend that they go to school and learn about the music industry? Or would you just say that they jump in?
At that time, just go to school if you have to, in the sense where what I would do if I was in that position, I would first go somewhere like an entertainment hub like New York or LA or TL and find internships or jobs I can do just to get a couple dollars, you know what I mean? And learn the game. And then if you get to a point where you need to go to school, then yeah. But I mean, if you can, if you have the financial backing to go to school, then go. You know what I mean? It's not gonna kill you, but like I said, it's a good thing for gaining a network, because the reason why Tycoon is growing primarily is because I'm in school. The word spreads around, so it's you're in school with thousands of people, and if you do something that sticks out and people start recognizing you for those things, they start spreading the word around, you know what I mean? And that's the advantage that I feel like I get from school as opposed to the academic side of it. The academic side of it is cool, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking for anything out of school, which is kind of what I'm looking for in a sense, it's more of just growing the network of your brand through you being there. You know what I mean? It's more of how do you utilize your time while there, as opposed to if it's going to benefit you or not. Because everybody's situation is different. like I said, like school benefited me in ways it might not have benefited the others. Like I'm not going to come out and say, well, I learned this, that in school, but most of the things I like about school was more of, well, the A&R on my team I met him at school. The creative director on my team I met him at school.